Jessica Monroe had just turned 16. She lived in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of town with her mom and dad. Their house stood at the end of a cul-de-sac, surrounded by tall trees, bird songs in the morning, and a wide backyard where Jessica often sat and listened to music or read books. She was kind, smart, and a bit shy. Her parents worked a lot, so she had learned to be independent. She loved drawing, taking care of her pet cat Muffin, and chatting with her best friend Clara. Everything in her life was normal, until the week that changed everything. It began on a chilly Friday evening. Chapter 1, The Sleepover. That Friday, Jessica went to Clara's house for a sleepover. They stayed up late, watched horror movies, painted their nails, and talked about school gossip. It was a fun night, laughs, popcorn, and ghost stories. Clara's parents were there, so it felt safe. But by 11 p.m., Jessica decided to go back home. She had a big art project to finish the next morning, and she wasn't feeling well. Clara's mom offered to drop her, but Jessica said no. "It's just a 15-minute walk," she said. "I've done it 100 times." She wore her hoodie, grabbed her backpack, and started walking through the quiet streets. The night air was cold. The neighborhood was silent. Only the sound of her footsteps echoed around her. Halfway through, she felt it, the feeling that someone was watching her. She looked around. Nothing. A house light flickered. A dog barked in the distance. A shadow moved near the bushes, but it turned out to be a trash bin blown by wind. She laughed nervously and kept walking. "I'm being silly," she whispered. She reached her home, unlocked the front door, and stepped inside. But something felt off. Chapter 2, The First Message. Jessica locked the door, turned on the hallway light, and put her backpack on the table. Her parents had left earlier that day for a weekend work trip. She was alone in the house for the next 2 nights. They had told her to call them anytime and left the emergency contacts on the fridge. She heated some leftover pizza, played with Muffin, and finally went to her room to change into her favorite pink pajamas. Just as she lay down in bed, her phone buzzed. New message from unknown number. "I can see you." Her heart jumped. She stared at the message. There was no name. No picture. Just those 4 words. She typed back. "Who is this?" No reply. She waited a minute. Then came another message. "Nice pink pajamas." Jessica froze. She sat up, looked at the window. The curtains were still open. She ran across the room and shut them tight. Her hands were cold, shaking. She quickly locked her bedroom door and turned off the lights. Then, she called her parents. No answer. She called Clara. Voicemail. For a few minutes, she sat in the dark, hugging her knees. Maybe it was a prank. But how could someone see her? She slowly peeked outside the curtain, scanning the backyard. Nothing moved. It was just dark. Quiet. Her phone buzzed again. This time, it was a photo. A photo of her window, taken from outside. Chapter 3, Calling the Police. Jessica couldn't breathe. She stared at the photo. It showed her window, just seconds ago, from an angle close to the bushes in her backyard. She dialed 911. The operator was calm, asked for her address, and told her to stay inside. Officers were dispatched. Jessica locked every door and window, closed every curtain, and sat on the floor holding a kitchen knife. 10 minutes later, 2 officers arrived. They searched the yard, checked the garage, looked behind every tree. No sign of anyone. They asked if she had a stalker. She said no. They asked about ex-boyfriends, online chats, angry classmates. Nothing. The only clue was the text messages. They couldn't trace the number. It was from a temporary online source, probably a fake SIM card. They told her to keep the doors locked and to call if anything else happened. Before leaving, one of the officers said, "You did the right thing. Most likely a prank. But stay alert." She nodded. But in her heart, she knew, this was not just a prank. Chapter 4, The Eyes in the Dark. That night, she tried to sleep, but her eyes kept opening. Every sound outside felt louder. A branch tapping the window, the wind whistling, even Muffin's soft purr seemed unnerving. At 3:11 a.m., her phone buzzed again. It was a video. She opened it. Her stomach twisted. It was a shaky clip of her sleeping. The camera zoomed in slowly, then zoomed out, then stopped at the window. It ended with heavy breathing and silence. She wanted to scream but no sound came out. The person had been outside her room, watching her, and had filmed her sleeping. Chapter 5, The Discovery. Morning finally came. The police returned with a forensics team. This time, they searched everything. And behind the tall oak tree near the back fence, they found a torn sleeping bag, empty snack wrappers, 2 water bottles, a small notebook, and a box, full of printed photos of Jessica. The photos were taken over several weeks. Some were of her walking to school. Some were of her sitting in the backyard. One was of her in her bedroom window, brushing her hair. Whoever this person was, they had been watching her for a long time. Chapter 6, The Notebook. Inside the notebook were disturbing drawings, her face, her house, her cat. One page had the words, "She's mine. She doesn't know yet. But she will. Soon." Jessica moved in with her aunt the same day. She didn't go back to that house for 2 months. Her parents sold it. The police never caught the stalker. The phone number was untraceable. The sleeping bag had no fingerprints. The camera was gone. The person had vanished like smoke. Chapter 7, The Return. 6 months later, Jessica started going to therapy. She got better slowly, fewer nightmares, fewer panic attacks. She began smiling again. Went back to school. Then, one night, Clara sent her a message. It was a screenshot from a social media story. A girl across town had posted something strange. The photo showed a house window with pink curtains. And a caption. "Someone's outside. I feel like I'm being watched." Jessica zoomed in. The house, the window, it looked just like hers. But she had moved. The stalker had found someone new.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe our channel, give a like and share it with others who love suspense and thrill. And most importantly, turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next chilling tale. Your support means everything.